Well, Transnet electrical engineer Francis Callard is expected to appear at the State Capture Commission in Parktown Johannesburg today. Yesterday, the acting Transnet CEO, Mohamedy, testified. He told the Commission how an interest rate swap with Nedbank meant the parastatal would pay an additional 300 million rand a year to service its debt. Let's get more on the story now, and the SABC's Mbalenhle Mthethwa joins us now live from Parktown Johannesburg. Mbalenhle, thank you very much indeed for your time. Just tell us, what were some of the biggest takeaways from the acting Transnet CEO's testimony yesterday?
Good morning, Blaine. One of the things that really came out and that featured prominently was the interest rate swap. Now, the interest rate swap saw Transnet paying much more to service its debt to a consortium of South African banks called the ZAR Club. And they refer to this loan of 12 billion rand as the ZAR Club loan, which is basically a loan from the consortium of local banks. Now, an interest rate swap, basically, I just want to explain to you what it is. So, you know, when you buy a car, your interest rate is either linked to prime and it's left floating. And when the interest rate goes up, it basically means that you're going to be paying more for your car, and vice versa when it goes down. Now, what they had done is that they got the 12 billion rand on a floating interest rate. And then 3 days later, after having received the money from the banks, they then received an instruction from Potolo Ramasubudi, who instructed them to convert it from a floating interest rate to a fixed interest rate. Now, we had Mohamedy explaining to the Commission that it was in Transnet's best interest to keep it floating, given that this was a long-term loan, and with it being a long-term loan, it would have been very much more expensive to have even gone the fixed interest rate initially, and that is the reason why they'd gone the floating route. And they had been warned about this, and they were told that maybe they shouldn't convert it from a floating interest rate to a fixed interest rate. And the warning came from acting Transnet Group Treasurer official Danny Smith, who had informed Transnet that if they'd gone ahead with the interest rate swap, they would end up paying 200 million rand more to service that debt.
So what can we expect today, Mbalenhle?
Well, today the Commission continues, and we've heard a lot of allegations relating to certain people and their involvement in the state capture project, and we can expect more testimony speaking to, internal members of Transnet and their involvement and working in the interest of external parties, some of them being Gupta-owned companies and Gupta-linked companies, like in the issue of the interest rate swap. We saw how Mohamedy telling the Commission that he felt that the interest rate swap was not done in Transnet's interest, but it was done in the interest of external entities, and that one of those entities being Regiment Capital, because he says this had not been done in a very long time and there was no reason, and this would have meant that Transnet would have paid so much more. I believe that the aggregated number for the amount that they actually they're going to end up paying for towards interest is aggregated at 1.3 billion rand for the next coming years. So those are the things that we've heard, and we expect to hear more of those allegations coming to the fore and the involvement of senior officials at Transnet.
Yeah, speaking about the senior officials at Transnet, we were talking earlier about the Transnet leg of the inquiry. How long is it likely to last?
Okay, so we heard when the Transnet leg started that we're expecting to hear from 13 witnesses. So far we've had 3, and the witness coming in right now today is the 4th witness. So there are 9 more witnesses expected to come onto the stand. So we can expect to hear about Transnet for the next coming month, if not 2 months, but for a very long time. We're just going to be focusing on Transnet and the rot that has taken place there.
No doubt you need to get comfortable there at Parktown Johannesburg. Mbalenhle Mthethwa live for us in Parktown Johannesburg. Thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Okay, let's